Ah, you're up rather early this morning, aren't you? Good morning, Father. Yeah, I thought I'd take a ride to Bilms. I'd like to take out a couple of books so I can do some light reading on our trip to Vioran. Ah, anything in particular? The Capitol Library has a large selection. Yeah, I'm looking for something rather specific, though, more analytical. The Petovian National Library might be the only place it would be. Ah, studying up on the kings of Petovia before our grand adventure to the city, hmm? Well, have fun. Don't spoil too much of the history that you're bound to learn while you're actually there, Marth. Yeah, I wouldn't dare, Father. All right, I'll be seeing... And Marth, be careful. Do you have your mother's good luck charm on you? That's a yes, like any other time you've asked me this. Come on, I take this with me wherever I go. I mean, they'll probably bury me with this thing. I've asked you this before? Oh, yeah. My lord, what old age can do to a man's memory. Be safe. I love you. I love you too, Father. Father. About Mom. Yes? It's nothing. I'll see you tonight, okay?
My name is Keen Decker, and I'm here to invite you to an evening not like most others. An evening where 4 streamers are pitted up against one another in hopes for fame and fortune. Will one streamer rise to the top and unlock fortunes like no other? Or will they all fall victim to the horrors of Marth's Dungeon?
You gotta hide the logo.
I'm happy that the first thing that people are gonna hear for this episode is shit, gotta hide the logo.
Let's go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Dungeoneers! I'm so happy that you recommended Dungeoneers because I'm actually just gonna use that. I fucking love that. Dungeoneers makes me happy.
Let's go.
Welcome back to episode 5 of Marth's Dungeon. We last left off here in Verlight Gardens with Pivid and Look Down watching young Colette break down the tree and break Belle kind of from its spell. And as she did this, all the bodies that she was controlling go completely limp into the ground, and it seems like her connection was completely severed. The leaves that were around her shedded from her body, and the phalid beetles all kind of just crawled out and began to die. And Belle was laying prone on the ground, and Colette was hovering over her. And it seems that Belle is kind of in her final moments. She's breathing very, very slowly and very shallowly. And she apologizes to Colette. And Colette is kind of banging on her chest, trying to operate, CPR on her to the best of her ability. As an 11-year-old kid, and she's kind of desperately looking around the forest at Look Down and Pivid, and she says, "Help her, please, 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 please help her! I can't go on without her. Please, please help her!" And she looks at Look Down. Healing, she needs healing, please! Do you have anything to heal her with?
I just kind of look down at myself and shrug.
She.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I take out a basic bandage and started just trying to, like, bandage something random. Best I got.
You start to try to bandage Belle, but obviously the problem is very much so internal. And Colette runs past you as you are bandaging Belle, and she runs up to Pivot and looks at him desperately and says, Please, she didn't do anything wrong. She wouldn't do that. Please, she needs your help. I've seen you. You were the one who used magic. Please help her. I know that you can. And Pivot looks at her and looks at the tree and kind of in a doubt just looks at Colette one more time and says, how do I have your guarantee that if I bring her back, she won't do these things again? And Colette says, please, she won't. I swear that wasn't Belle. That was somebody else. I've seen her with my eyes these 50 years. That right there, that wasn't Belle. That wasn't Belle. That was a monster. Please. She's everything to me. She's the only thing that I have left. And Pivot kind of thinks to himself for a second and then goes over to Belle and starts to try to perform some healing magic on her. But Belle has begun to kind of gurgle. There's definitely fluid just in her lungs at this point, and she's choking. It seems that it's too late. And Belle goes limp. Colette sees this and she runs over and is still trying to push on her chest, not even knowing if her heart is in her chest or not, where it would even be, but she's trying to resuscitate her and bring her back to life, and bawling her eyes out. And she continues to do this for a couple of minutes.
I just kind of stand there and watch.
Pivot, seeing that she is indeed dead, puts his hand on her shoulder and says, I'm sorry. I wish there was something else I could do, but she's gone. And Colette is traumatized. She does not even know what to do at this point. She just kind of lays her head on Belle's chest and begins weeping. And Pivot looks to Colette and says, we can't just leave you here. You can come with us back. And Colette immediately interrupts him and says, get out. Just leave. Just go. Help yourself to the supplies that are out there and get out of her light. And Pivot turns around and he walks away.
I take a step down and just say, defend home, and then leave.
Perfect.
My emotional status did not change. Like, I just...
Something that you definitely see or had seen in a pretty much day-to-day basis. So, yeah, for sure.
Pretty much a shit happens.
Yeah. Thames, as this is happening, you've grabbed several supplies and you've brought them back to kind of the castle. So you head back over to the castle first, and up the map here. And what you see as you walk back over to the castle is several dozens and dozens of goblins, all dead on the ground, in front of the castle. And Marth is sitting on the steps leading to the castle, just caked in blood.
Tim's is gonna rush his curly-hat legs over there to where Marth is.
Perfect. You run up to Marth, and Marth, he hears you coming, and it kind of gives him a startle. And he looks up and he sees that it's you, and just kind of takes an exhale of just relief. And yeah.
What happened? What did you do?
We were attacked in the middle of the night. Just goblins and goblins. There's hundreds of them. Some of them are gone now, but some of them I couldn't spare. They wouldn't listen to reason. They attacked. They were trying to enter the castle with ill intent, rob it, loot it, pillage it, burn it to the ground, kill, slaughter anything inside. And he's kind of like shaking.
Where are the ones you spared? All I see is corpses.
They left. I imagine that maybe sometime we'll see them again, but for now they're gone.
And only you were the one that defended against them.
Yeah, I mean, Maxwell was there too in a sense, but yes, we defended the castle together.
What power did you have to use to do this?
And he lets his arms kind of loose just a little bit, and you see the Book of Naturna kind of just fall out of his hands and into his lap as he's kind of shaking a little bit.
Marth, and he gets like closer, like imposing, and he'll say, "Do not utilize it to this extent ever again unless you wish to become the witch." I've seen what this type of power does to people, and I lived under it for a century.
And Marth, he looks up to you, and his eyes are a bit glazed over. It seems that he's been awake for a long time. And he says, "As a prince, I don't think much of my command. I don't expect you to follow my orders. I don't expect you to listen to my words. And I would never order you to do anything. But as a man who has nothing to lose and much to gain, I don't believe I asked for your permission."
Every time you use that, your words sound closer to something the witch would say. And I'll walk past him.
Perfect. You walk into the castle, and you don't see anybody around. Nobody kind of seems to be just in the main area at all. And as you kind of like push past here, so too will enter, look down, and pivot alongside Alice. And same thing, look down, Alice and pivot. As you all walk in, you see a tremendous amount of bodies just lobbed on top of each other, some missing heads, blood everywhere. It's just in puddles all around. Even the water that's trickling out of the castle and onto the ground is pretty much just caked in blood at this point. It's just bleeding red.
All I say in like under my breath is weak, and then walk in.
You all walk past Marth. Alice goes in with you here. You walk past Marth, and he just kind of looks up just a little bit at you and looks back down at the ground. And as Pivid goes to pass him...
Do I see the book as I pass him?
Yes.
I would freeze for a minute. Like, I would take like a awkwardly long pause before I keep walking.
Marth doesn't look up or acknowledge it at all, for sure. He just kind of is still kind of looking down at the ground. But as Pivid walks past him, Marth hands the book over to him and says, "Here you go." And Pivid kind of looks at him questioningly and says, What do you mean? What do you mean, here you go?" And Marth says, "You wanted to use it. You said for not a novice magic user to try to use the book, so I'm tired. I'm going in. I'm going to sleep for the night. I'll let you fly the castle." And Marth he stands up and he walks in, walks past everybody and goes up to his room. Pivid grabs the book and walks inside, kind of looking through the pages. He's actually never seen the chronicles of the Book of Nocturna himself. And as he kind of looks through the pages, it's completely incomprehensible. He can't read a single word or make sense of anything that is in the book. It seems like complete gibberish to him. And he looks at the rest of the party and says, well, I can't make a sense of any of this. I suppose we'll just have to wait. And Alice is going to kind of just roll her eyes a little bit and head down to her usual spot over by the boxes.
I am worried about what Marth is going to become. His tone, his words, they get more corrupted every time he uses that book. Pivid, I do not ask much of you, as I see you as an equal, but please do not let him use it.
And Pivid looks at you and he nods his head and says, "I wouldn't like to see him use it either. I do hate to admit it, though. He does seem to be able to use it to some degree. I feel like if he uses it too much, it's not good for him. What happened out there," and he kind of looks outside past the doors to all the bodies. He just looks back to you guys and says, "It's not an acceptable use."
He acts as a man that believes he has nothing left to lose. And that book, and a man like that is unfortunate.
And Pivid just kind of stomps he kind of taps his foot a little bit and says, I'll make sure to monitor him. Unfortunately, I can't utilize this, and we're stuck here for now, so I guess
I guess I'm just going to sit down and see if I can make any sense of this while we wait. And he like goes to he goes to step outside, and then remembers that his shack is no longer there that he sleeps in. And he just kind of looks around and turns back around to the party, and he's just like, and like walks past you and like sits behind the throne and starts flipping through the pages.
I'll follow him as he goes, and I'll say, like, we need countermeasures against Marth should he turn into whatever soul it was.
And Pivid, like, nods very agreeably with you, and he says, yes, I think it's always good to have countermeasures in place just in case. I would hate to think that the Prince of Petovia could be corrupted, but it is always a possibility, and we always have to, at the end of the day, look out for each other. And he looks at you, and just kind of like nods in just like an understanding.
Indeed. I do not hold royal bloodlines in any type of status of above anyone. They are people. A blunt hammer to the head would kill them.
And like just like a couple shivers go down Pivid's spine. He's just like, yes, more or less, we all are, at the end of the day, mortals, and no one person should be held in any more high regard. It's their actions that matter the most. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
I'm glad we came to an agreement with that. It worries me. And I'll walk back to the forge.
Perfect. Look down, would you like to do anything?
As soon as they both stepped away, I would have been staring at my reflection in the water.
Yes. And your reflection is crystal clear in this water.
I would, like, touch some of the scars on my face, keeping it together a little bit better than I was the first time I noticed them. And when I saw Thames walk by, I would have looked over at them, and if they acknowledged that I looked at them, then I would approach, but if they don't, then I just walk back to my cell.
Tim's will give you like the bro nod, though.
Just turn my head confused.
Unsure whether to follow him into his room or not.
Tim's will just keep walking. Unaware that Lookdown's looking at him.
just following him with his eyes every step.
No, I'll go back to my cell, I guess.
Perfect. You begin walking.
Actually,
yep.
If I have any, do I have any like dirt or blood on me?
I would say you definitely do on your hands. Probably your clothes that you were kind of wearing before were pretty nasty. You just got shoes, but your feet are kind of gross, and the rest of you cleaned up your face, but the rest of your body is definitely still caked in mud and just dead skin and blood.
I'll approach the water and then gently slide myself into it. And like I'm not gonna like try and wash myself off, but I'm just going to like just kind of sit in it for a second and like see all the gunk that is like loose enough to come off of me and see it dirty to the water as it pushes itself out.
Yes, and I kind of liken it to when Gara gets just chunks of his sand
kind of punched off or like caked off. It just kind of in chunks starts breaking off of your body and flowing down the river. And just there's a lot of it. It's not really like forcible enough to get a lot of the stuff, but it is definitely almost like an oil slick traveling down the man-made river.
And then as it starts to, as it's flowing off gently, I start shaking and getting more and more anxious, and then say to myself and possibly Serviad, I must know. And then I start like peeling off all that I can, like in like a manic, like can't hold it together. Probably accidentally cutting myself even, just to get it all off, just to see how, if my face was this fucked up, what does the rest of me look like?
Yes. So you start kind of frantically working first at your legs, and you just have these really, really deep, just indented shackle marks on your legs where you've been chained several times. The dirt that you start clearing off your legs, and as well as like the dead skin, it's been on there for so long that the skin under it has been kind of infected and very raw. And you see just like scrapes, scars, and gashes all over your legs. And as you start to clean more and more and more, you kind of submerge yourself a little bit more into the water, up to kind of like your chest, and you start kind of just like wiping off dirt that's on your chest. And as you do, you feel a very strange indented mark in your chest that goes all the way across it, that does not feel like any other up until this point. And you can kind of see through because you're wearing kind of white rags, white prison rags.
I would take off my shirt.
Perfect. So you take off your shirts and you look down, and there are characters written in on your chest, just carved into your chest, and you don't know what it says.
What am I?
And Serviad kind of appears above the water, making sure not to get wet in classic Serviad fashion. And he looks to you and says, "What's that on your chest?"
I don't know.
And he kind of inspects it quickly, and
What is it?
As you kind of turn around to him, your chest starts glowing a little bit, and the word rather, Valen, is carved into your chest, just kind of glowing very, very faintly. And Serviad looks at it and says, "Valen? Who? I don't remember anybody doing that to you."
There's a lot of things I can't remember being done to me.
Champ, I'm sorry. I know it's been a lot, but we'll make sure to remember it together. At the end of the day, and he kind of reaches his hand out to you as you're in the water, we're in this together, and we're going to make it through together.
Look up at him. Do I even want to remember?
Sometimes there are things that are hurtful to remember. But I do believe that if we forget the past, then what does the future even mean to us? We have a good future ahead of us, Look Down. This is the start of our first chapter. We left everything else behind us, but if we don't remember what happened to us in the past, then we might make the same mistakes in the future. Bad things might happen to people we care about. We always need to remember. I suppose, I hope it makes sense.
I have no past. And I climb out of the water myself and walk back to my cell.
And you climb out of the water, and you start to walk, and you walk directly through Servian, and he dissipates into the wind, or sorry, into the air rather, and you head down to your cell. And as you head down to your cell, Maxwell heads up from the cafeteria and kind of like intercepts you on your way in. And he's like, hi. You guys are back. That's good. This was
I unmeaningfully or accidentally, when I look at him, I kind of give him like a death glare.
And he sees it and goes, right. You okay, buddy?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Do you need to talk?
I approach him and just say, friend, and then walk back to my cell.
You kind of walk and round the corner, and as you round the corner, Max does the kind of classic, just like non-vocal wow. It's just like whoa. and kind of like looks and sees Alice behind the crates, and like kind of looks back over to you, sees that you rounded the corner. He's like, okay, I'll go bring the food down to the. All right, whatever. And he walks into the throne room to grab all the supplies that you brought with you. And Martha's taking a rest. You guys can take a long rest if you please, or unless you want to do some other things.
Tim's would like to start work on repairing the staircase.
Perfect. Perfect. You begin working on the stairs here. Look down. Are you doing anything else while this is happening? Are you gonna take a rest?
I'm going to just sit, or I'm just gonna lay on my cot, staring at the ceiling for like way longer than I should before I finally fall asleep.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And Thames, you kind of begin fixing. Are you just fixing the one stair? Are you kind of trying to replace all the steps?
He's gonna start working on the one step that's like particularly bad, but it's gonna be like the groundwork for like replacing the entire staircase.
Okay, perfect.
Because replacing the entire staircase now would take a little too long. Totally, got to sleep.
That is very, very true. You start to work on the stair, and you see Penelope down on the bottom set of stairs, and she just kind of looks up to you and says, "Where's Colette?"
Colette is with the others, I believe. Anyways, I do have to fix this staircase, so if you do wish to watch, I will need quiet. Otherwise, I will fall roughly 50 feet and probably sustain damage or die.
And she like kind of like looks at you and didn't understand a single word what you just said, and she just like doesn't understand the meaning behind like that stare just being completely gone, and she's just like, and then walks over and starts playing with a couple of forks.
Tim's will take it.
Perfect.
A desirable outcome, but not an expected one.
You start working on the stair, and it doesn't take you too long. You're pretty used to doing work like this. It's very routine for you. It probably takes you maybe in and around 20-25 minutes to fix it and make it look real good.
Okay, I was thinking about like a replacement with like metal or something.
Yeah.
Just because stone is not structurally sound with this stuff.
Right. You replace the metal plate, and it looks way better than anything else on this staircase. Like if you step on that step, there ain't no way you're breaking.
Yep. So I guess in the future, like at night, Tim's will like go and fix a few steps, replace them, and then go back.
Perfect.
But for now, a job done.
You head back up to your...
Yep, and as I said before, which is canon by the way, Soliet didn't let Tim's fix the staircase as a way of trolling. He's trolling everyone in the castle.
Doing the elaborate troll. And Max is like as you kind of walk back up to your room, you just see Max like carrying sacks like down to like the edge here of the hallway, and going back up, grabbing another sack, and he's fucking sweaty as shit. Like he is very smelly and sweaty in his raincoat once more.
I'll look at him doing that and be like, hey, at least he's being put to good use.
As you kind of like walk past him though, he's just like, he like looks up to you, and he's just like, you wanna help?
How many like supplies are left?
There's probably like maybe like 12 giant sacks left.
Sure. And I'll take a sack.
Perfect. You take the sack down, and you do it just much more quickly than Max kind of does. He's grabbed quite a few at this point. He's very out of shape, so he's just kind of like waddling with the sack. And you drop yours off, and Max kind of continues to go back and forth.
Max says, in my next project, I will make you weights.
What? Make me what?
Weights.
You'll make me wait? Like all the other women in
No.
my life?
I'm not a woman, but they are like metal objects that you pick up and put down, and they make you stronger.
Oh, weights. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, that thing my father was always fucking doing. Look how he turned out. He's still like walking down the stairs.
And Tim's is gonna mutter, "Look how you turned out," and then go back to my forge.
Perfect. And at this point, Pivot is kind of fallen asleep with his back to the throne. Alice is sleeping in the boxes here. Marth is taking a long rest. Lookdown has at this point passed out, and Max, after lifting up a couple more sacks, he just kind of like goes back into the room, and like very out of breath, just like right here, looks at the rest that needs to be grabbed, and he's just like, yeah, tomorrow. And he walks up and lays down in the bathtub. And everybody gain the effects of a long rest, so heal everything back up. And In the meantime, like during the long rest, Thames, you definitely have the option to fix any armor if you really want to that you have. Or,
I'll fix the absolutely fucking obliterated armor that happened with Look Down.
Okay, perfect.
Like at this point, it's probably more time efficient to just melt it down and make it again.
And as everybody wakes up, it is now nighttime. Look Down, you are the first to wake up, as per tradition. I'm gonna give you a little light here, so you light up your way.
So I can see everything in the night.
Yeah, literally everything. Yeah, you wake up first, Look Down. What would you like to do with your time, if anything?
I will go to Thames's door. Like, just to the wall next to it.
Yep.
And I will just sit there.
Perfect.
And after waiting for a while and collecting, waking up and shaking off the grogginess, I just silently say to myself, "Sorry, Serviad."
Serviad appears kind of sitting next to you, and he says, "Listen, we all go through it. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I've certainly had my days as well. Trust me." And he looks over to you and says, "Like I said, though, no matter what, I'm still here for you. If you ever need anything, we're always in this together. I'm always here for you at the end of the day."
Thank you.
And Serviad just kind of waits there next to you, sitting while you're kind of waiting for everybody else to wake up. And surprisingly,
Diesel engine.
Yeah, you hear this deep growl coming out of Thames's room. And
Also, just as a note, I never put back on the like shirt tunic part.
Perfect. And surprisingly enough, Thames is not the first one to wake up. Marth kind of comes out of his room and steps down the stairs, headed towards the cafeteria, and looks across the way to see you. And he kind of looks at you and says, Good morning."
I slowly turn to look at him. "Hi."
"Did you sleep well?"
"I slept. Did you?"
I think so. It seems to be kind of, and he looks around and everything is very, very dark. He says, I'm not even sure what time I fell asleep, but I must have slept a lot. More than I've gotten. Well, I shouldn't say more than I've gotten in the past couple years." And he kind of like smiles to himself. And he's like, "But it was, I think I slept very well. I feel very rejuvenated." And he walks down the rug here, leading to the stairs, and opens up the stairs and sees that they're indeed still in Verlight. And he turns around and he says, "Did Pivot not bring us to Bilms?"
"What?"
Sorry. Do you know Do you know where he is?
I point to the throne.
And Marth kind of slowly walks up to the throne and sees Pivid's shadow being casted off the the torches that he's behind the throne here. Marth peeks his head around and sees that he's still sleeping, and slips the book out from his hands, and takes it in his hands and starts to head towards the cafeteria.
I'm watching him so intently as he does this.
Perfect. And Marth kind of feels your eyes on him.
Yeah, he does. I'm not covering it.
And he looks over to you and he says, "Is everything okay? Are you all right?"
No.
What seems to be the problem? Did you guys run into any issues in Verline? Because I certainly ran into a fair share of mine here, so I can only imagine what it was like for you.
It was fine.
Oh, then what's the issue? Are you okay?
That book.
Yes. What about the book? And he kind of shows it to you.
Full of bad.
It's strange.
Used for bad.
This book was made with the purpose of doing bad, yes. And it was made from doing very bad things. Yes. You, I, everyone in this castle share the same understanding. I would think that it doesn't necessarily need to be used for bad. There are some times in life that extraordinary circumstances come to fruition, and we're going to need this book. You understand that, don't you?
No.
What seems to be the problem with... And he starts to walk forward, and he sees your chest. And it begins kind of just very, very slowly glowing again. And the words start to kind of reform on your chest. And Marth looks at you and says, Where did you get that? What happened? Wait, what?
I don't know.
And Marth, kind of in disbelief, takes a few steps backwards and raises an eyebrow at you. And he says, Right.
I can't remember.
Look down. How long have you
I look down.
been here?
I don't know.
And Marth nods his head and says, I'm sorry to hear that. I wouldn't wish this life on anybody. Do you mind if I join you for a bit?
For the for the first time ever actual look of shock on Lookdown's face.
And Marth goes, unless that would bother you, of course I can go somewhere else.
Do what you like.
Well, and he kind of sits down right here. And Serviette is just in between the two of you. Just kind of like scrunched up. And Marth kind of puts his hand to his forehead and just starts sighing a little bit and says, I wish the things that I liked to do were the things I could do as of late. I like to go fishing. I like to go for walks. I like to train for combat and not kill something. I like to go out running. I like to spend time looking at nature, touching flowers, smelling wonderful scents, and spending time with the people that I care about. I would love to do things that I like again. But I feel that I don't always have the option to do what I would like as of late. This world that we're living in, it's not the same as what it used to be. It used to be beautiful. It used to be vibrant. There used to be people, music, dancing, and just happy and lifted spirits. But this country's in shambles. It's in ruins. And Lookdown, I have to figure out why. The burning agony, the question that's been just tearing at my mind this entire time is why? I know you haven't seen the best of what this world has to offer, but so help me God, you will.
Defend home.
Yes, defend home. This has always been my home, and for all of you, I consider it your home in some sense as well. You may be from different places, from different cultures, different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, Protovia was built on the idea of freedom and justice. And I'm going to secure that again.
Do good.
Yes, of course. And he kind of looks out to the door once more. I don't like doing what I sometimes have to do. But like I said, I have to do things that I don't necessarily like to do as of late. And he just kind of looks at the book again and says, those goblins, they told me a lot about their lives, about who they were and what they wanted, the things that they had seen, their memories, their desires, every little detail. I saw it as vivid as the sunrise at the beginning of the day. Many of them were deplorable creatures. I saw so much violence. I saw so much murder and terrible, terrible things. Unimaginable, unspeakable things.
Lookdown cuts you off by grabbing you and asks, can you do that to me?
Marth.
Past, I must remember.
Marth looks over to you and begins just going through the pages of the book and says, is that really what you would want? This is not meant for things of those nature. It's harmless in a manner of speaking, but is that really what you would want?
His grip loosens. I don't know. Was told, remember, past for future. But I don't know.
And Marth kind of looks over to you and says, take some time to think on that. Take some time to really think if that is what you desire. And then come back to me. And he stands up and begins to kind of start walking away slowly towards the cafeteria. And then he kind of stops on this bridge and turns around to you and says, "We'll head out when everybody is awake." And walks away.
I stand there just looking at the ground for like 5 or 10 minutes before I sit back down next to Thames' door.
Perfect. And as Marth heads into the cafeteria, he walks down the stairs, sees the one or the couple of stairs that are repaired, and admires it briefly for a second, and steps on it, sees that it's very, very sturdy, and smiles, gives him something to smile about for probably the first time in a decent while, at least. And he kind of walks down to the bottom of the stairs and sees that Penelope has turned some of the tables over and has built a fort around herself and is sleeping inside of it. And he just kind of like smiles and shakes his head and walks over to grab himself some breakfast. And a little bit of time passes. And it is now about midnight here. And Maxwell kind of like stumbles out of the tub, like very, very cramped and just like, oh my fucking god. And he starts like walking down the stairs, almost like kind of fumbles and falls down. He's not a very graceful morning person. And he opens up the door very, very loudly. It wakes Pivot up, and he kind of scrambles to his feet, looks around and sees that the book is missing, and sees Max, and he's just like, what time is it? And Max like looks at him, and he's just like, buddy, there's like a clock upstairs. Yeah, you go look at it if you want. Like, jeez. He heads down towards the cafeteria. And Pivot is kind of just looking around his area for the book. And as he is looking around the area and can't find a single thing, he looks down across the hallway to see you look down, kind of just sitting there up against the wall. And are you looking at him?
Nope, I'm just looking straight.
Perfect. He makes sure that you're kind of not looking at him, and has like this weird feeling that maybe you have taken the book deep down inside, but he doesn't really want to approach that situation. And so he starts kind of looking to see if anybody else is awake, and kind of heads up towards Marth's room and goes inside. Thames, probably about 20 minutes later, you wake up on your back yet again.
I like to think that I wake up on my stomach. I don't know how this keeps happening. So he'll do the pendulum swing again.
Perfect. Begin rolling like a roly-poly. And it definitely makes some noise for sure. It sounds like just like a stone being like kind of like rubbed against like another like solid surface back and forth.
And once I get to my feet, I will make sure everything in the forge is still there.
Yep, you look around and in the forge, everything is still spick and span, kind of the way you left it, and everything is exactly in the place that you kind of designated it to be.
Okay. So then I will pick up the armor I repaired.
Perfect. You grab the armor.
And just think, well, I think he stays in the dungeon, yeah. And then we'll walk outside.
You open up the door, and it swings off to your left, and you see Look Down sitting very, very close to your doorway.
What time is it?
Don't know. But I stand up as I say it.
Okay. Why are you always here? You know what? Never mind. It's not important. Anyways, I prepared this for you.
Thank you.
Of course. Now I have to go ask Marth one more time where the Alexandrite eye is.
That thing yesterday. You called them something.
What thing?
In woods. Did magic.
They were killing people for their life essence. Harvesting.
Yes.
It is the act of taking something to benefit from it. But it does not necessarily come back.
They are dead.
And importantly, with harvesting, it is akin to animals or crops like wheat or, I suppose, like pumpkins and the like. It is with the expectation that they will not be treated any better than, well, animals. And I cannot stand for that.
Good news, then. Thought you might like. So told.
What is the news?
They are dead?
Thames will look like solemnly and say, very well.
The harvester is dead.
That is, I suppose a net benefit for the world. It is, good to hear, Tim says, while not having a happy face.
That was literally stemmed from you disliking that person,
Yep.
and so it's just me trying to do something nice.
Oh, yeah.
Lighten the mood.
Yeah. Tim's gets it, like, in principle, but, like, it's like, yeah, death is not fun. Where is Marth? Is she awake?
Rude.
Then I will go get it myself.
Also,
I'll-
did the Valen light up on my chest when Thames came?
No.
Gotcha.
I'll go mosey on over to Marth's room.
Perfect. You start to kind of work your way over to Mart's room, and you hear somebody kind of walking down the steps as you're doing it. And as you open up the door, you see none other than Pivid at the base of the stairs, and he looks at you very shockingly and says, "It isn't what it looks like."
Okay. I believe him.
And he walks past you. And he says, "What were you looking for?"
The Alexandrite eye. I told Marth now about 3 times that he can have it, yet I never see it. I've worked too hard on that thing, and it's too important to my people to leave it rotting in a corpse.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think I saw her corpse kind of nestled up against the corner of the room. Upper right hand corner of the room there.
Very well.
And he says, "Good luck," and looks off to his left and still sees off to his left and still sees look down there, and kind of just does a big sweep with his head and heads down towards the cafeteria.
Gotcha. He stepped on the step.
Oh shit. Thames, as you head up the stairs, you make your way into the room, and like he said, Soliet's corpse is actually just right in the corner right here, and she is missing her head.
I'll look around for the head. And or eye, if it's loose.
Roll an observation check for me.
Okay.
First roll of the night, baby!
Yeah, boy.
Took an hour to get here, but we got here.
That is a 16.
Perfect. Yeah, you look at her body and see that her head is just kind of no longer there. You don't see her head anywhere in the room itself, but you see a huge just puff of just dust and just kind of like little bits and pieces of bone kind of leading its way towards the underside of the bed. And as you kind of look under the bed, you see the Alexandrite eye just propped up against one of the pegs supporting the bed.
I will pick it up very carefully because I know what the properties of what can happen with that. So.
Perfect. So you put it away. Did you want to do anything else in the room?
Nope.
Perfect.
He's a man with a mission.
Man on a mission.
And then I will go get more metal supplies too. Start work on the staircase again.
Perfect. Pass back over, look down here. Grab some metal supplies. Look down at you, kind of staying where you are.
Yes, but when Thames comes back around carrying metal stuff, I will ask, need help?
Maybe perhaps later. Are you good at looking at corpses or bodies and finding things?
Maybe.
Can you go out to those goblin corpses and get me anything that has metal? And hope, like, point to the plates.
Yes.
That would be much appreciated.
And-
Despite all the food and whatever they had very little iron, unfortunately.
We'll look. And then I'll just jump across the water.
Give a big old leap, gonna shoo.
Across both of them.
Ah! Leap right across the water, and you head towards the bodies to go salvage some things.
Now, I want you to know that I will, in fact, search every single goblin out there.
Perfect. Start looking
And,
through the goblins.
Just so you know, just so you can have like a frame of reference of how much time is going to pass before I finally am, you know, able to do something.
Perfect. So you're looking through bodies. Thames, you start heading off to repair the stairs. And as you kind of just reach the stair here, you hear just a voice from the dungeons going, "Baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. Wouldn't be anything without you. Oh, baby." And then you just hear a soft muttered,
He has a fucking Sans laugh. Oh, no, 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 no.
And you, I'm assuming, probably continue going towards the stairs, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go down to the cafeteria and make an announcement about the stair repairs in case anyone wishes to leave.
You make your way, and Alice at this point has woken up a while ago and sees that you kind of walk down the stairs and kind of follows behind you. It does it very stealthily, actually. Let me roll a stealth for her, actually, here. Plus her modifier. She rolls a 10, so it's not very stealthy. Yeah, she kind of like walks directly behind you. Like kind of like a car in the blind spot of a truck. She's like hoping that she can kind of just be directly behind your shell and that you won't notice her. But as she's like stepping down the stairs, she's making a couple of like creaks in the metal.
And I'll just be like, I know you're there.
Oh. And she kind of like loses interest and like as you get to the bottom of the stairs, kind of like hops off and like walks away.
Yeah, and as Thames reaches the bottom, he'll say, Alright, anyone in the cafeteria? I'm going to be making the repairs in about 2 minutes. If you wish to leave, you must do so quickly or you will be in the cafeteria for a few hours.
And as you kind of like finish up the rest of your little speech, Penelope looks at you and she has a napkin over her eye, kind of in a makeshift eye patch, and she has like a fork and she like starts like kind of pointing it at you and goes, "Arg!"
I'll say, oh no, do not rob me. I do not have anything.
And then she like points to where the stair was like missing, and she goes, "Walk the oh." And then she like goes back over and just starts messing around.
He'll have a small little smirk. And then look at the rest of everyone, and then if I don't see a reaction, I would just start working on the stairs.
Yeah, everybody else kind of like gives you like an affirmation, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll be down here for a while." And they start to sit down at the table and begin eating. And where the fuck did Max go?
We're just gonna find him somewhere. I think you deleted. I think you deleted him when you made him go.
I was like, where did Max go? He just appears in the dead of the night, hovering over your body. Perfect.
Hopefully nobody has to pee.
Like Marth like goes to sit down next to Max and like just notices that he smells awful, and then just goes to like another table, sits down and begins eating. And a couple of hours pass, and Thames, you make really, really good work of the stairs here, and they look beautiful, kind of brand new, with as much as the material that you kind of had to work with. You did a very, very good job, just kind of making sure everything's spick and span, everything's nice and tight and looking good.
He was tired of fearing for his life every time he went to go eat.
Which is perfectly understandable. And as you finish up, you realize that Look Down is still just looking through bodies,
down.
probably. Like he's still just looking down. And Marth kind of like looks around. He's like, "Is everybody? Where's Look Down?"
I asked him to go look through the bodies. I take it he's being thorough. And now instead of like having like a neutral look, Tim's is like slightly apprehensive towards Marth after the little conversation, i.e. reputation lowered.
And Marth looks at you and he's just like, "Right, okay, well, I suppose I can go get him." And he heads past you and goes up the stairs. And as he kind of like gets to the stairs, you are just like off in buku fuck nowhere over here.
Nowhere? Just on the castle?
Just, yeah, all the way across the lawn, just like looking through bodies. And like Marth like reaches like the stairs here, and he sees a giant pile of just like wooden bows, just like arrows and fucking pieces of armor that have just been like kind of broken in half, scraps even. Like there's definitely like pebbles and just grass on top of it too. Like it is just a huge pile of like just salvageable material, as well as just some like earthy ground.
Even in pretend land, I have to play open world survival games, dude. I just can't escape it.
Every day we're playing Ark Survival Evolved. Tell me I'm wrong. And Marth like walks outside, and he goes, "Look, oh god, I can't. I hate that. Look." All right. And he starts like looking around the property for you. And you're just kind of like maneuvering from body to body. After you pick up a couple of kind of just like plates and scraps of armor, you head back and you kind of intercept with him and see him. And he says, "Look Down, we're headed out."
Look Down.
Oh, sorry. Is there something else I can call you? I feel really Is there something that you would prefer to be called other than Look Down?
I'm already looking down.
Just like walking as you're looking down.
Yeah, I continue walking. I don't know.
Right.
This works fine.
How about, I mean, you kind of deserve like a cool name. Is there anything that you really, really admire? Is there something that you really, really like?
No.
Oh.
I am only been referred to as look down.
Right. Well, I'll work on it. And he kind of like gives you like the finger guns, and like as you kind of walked past him, and he kind of follows you
As I
into the
walk
castle.
past, I do say, "It is fine."
Okay. Well, I'll refer to you as that then. And follows you into the castle here. And as you kind of drop
Hold
off,
on, am I done?
no.
Oh, then I don't go in the castle.
Oh,
I
just
build on the
I
pile.
mean, yeah, I mean just to drop off the materials inside the castle.
Oh, okay,
here.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then
gotcha.
you start to kind of head back out here. and Marth like turns around, he's like, we're gonna head out soon?
Okay. And I keep walking.
Oh god, it's taking the whole castle with you.
No. He picked up the bridge.
He's a foot dragger. And Marth kind of like puts his hands to the side again. He's just like, okay, fine. And he goes to help you with the rest of the material. Takes a couple more hours. Everybody kind of wonders where you two are. And by now it is kind of like 6 or 7 in the morning. The sun's rising. And you do manage to grab everything and bring it back inside. And kind of put it, transfer it from the doorway into Thames's, just smithy. It's like, it's so much material that it's just kind of blocking. Like, some of it had to go on his bed. Some of it just kind of, like, is blocking his way to the forge. Like, there's so much fucking material there. And Marth looks at you and he says, I think that we did a pretty good job. I think we were rather thorough.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, anytime. Would you like to join us in the cafeteria?
Sure.
Perfect. And the two of you head down into the cafeteria. All these stairs are just like beautifully just like slated out pieces of metal, and it is such a nice little walkway now. Definitely the nicest thing in this entire castle, by the way. just as a footnote. And as you reach the bottom of the stairs, Max is like kind of just like leaned back in his chair, like with his feet just kicked up on top of the table. And he's like, "Oh my god, I ate so much food. Where the fuck have you been?"
I look at Thames and I just say, "All done."
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, no, that's... No, I say thank you. You say you're welcome.
You're well.
There you go. Good job. You know, like, pat him on the shoulder and then, like, take it away reluctantly.
And Marth goes up to Pivid and hands him the book and says, "No, if you would do the honors, I think everybody is ready to start moving." And Pivid sees that he has the book, and it definitely like relieves him just a little bit that it's not like completely missing in the castle, like someone just completely walked away with it. And he looks at Marth and says, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Yeah. It's a bit strange to admit, and maybe a bit of hit to my pride, but I cannot seem to read anything in that book. In fact, I'm not entirely sure why you can read anything in that book as a amateur mage. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And Marth, like, kind of, like, smiles a little bit and says, I wouldn't even call myself an amateur mage. That spell you gave me the other day, it was way too advanced for me. I literally couldn't even use it. And to pivot just kind of to himself, it's exceptionally strange that he says this, just in the fact that this is literally like one of the just starter spells that mages are given to work with. And so the fact that he has no background in magic whatsoever and is able to use this book is mind-blowing to him. And Pivot just simply says, for now, I suppose you should do the honors. And Marth looks to everybody and says, is everybody ready to go?
Next touchdown, I will be expanding my forge.
Duly noted. Duly noted. And he says the spell once more, and the castle begins to shake. Shake back and forth. Do I have everything? Oh, boy. All the tokens are going to shake, too, as well as the road. So we're not going to do that. But the castle begins to shake and start slowly... Okay, we're going to do it. Fuck it. It'll be funny. Why not? Everything starts to go. Oh god, it's lagging so hard. Everything starts gyrating. All the bodies start wiggling around. Woohoo! And the castle.
Everybody do the twist.
The castle begins moving, and the staircase is. Nothing squeaks, nothing bends. Everything is perfectly structurally sound with it. And you arrive in your new destination, which I did not place the castle outside of, so you're just gonna have to do a little bit of imagination work. And I'm very sorry about that. I know. It's crazy. I know. Sometimes I messed up, bro.
I don't have an imagination. How am I supposed to play this?
How am I supposed to play this fucking game?
I don't even know if I can play this anymore. Imagine some kind of, I don't know, theater of the mind or some joke like that.
Oh yeah, DM, how about you imagine some bitches?
No, he punked my ass. I hate getting my ass punked. All right, let me place everybody here. And change up the music to some fresh new tunes. By the way, Ace is featured on this track. He did some work for it. Very, very exciting.
Let's go.
All right, so let's see. Let me get everybody here. And Marth. The whole gang's here. Temsy?
Oh no.
The Civilonian?
No.
Alice.
Max is here.
Max is on the grind. Who are we missing? We are missing...
Yeah, boy.
Oh, right. Of course. As well as... a couple of others.
Where's Penelope?
Penelope's still in the castle. But, she'll follow you out here. She'll follow you out briefly onto the field.
What the fuck are these two?
These
Sorry.
are... Who are these?
I don't care.
These are the prisoners that you walked past that were kind of begging for you to let them loose. And they are tied up. They have their hands behind their backs with kind of just ropes. And Marth looks at them and says, "Okay, we have arrived in Bilms. To my knowledge, and from the intel told from these two here, these two knuckleheads, they said that there is a full encampment inside the city. Now, I don't know what the city is looking like. I don't know what type of trouble we're going to run into. But I feel like as long as we keep a low profile and we work together, we will be okay, and we will be able to save Penelope's friends."
Marth.
Yes.
I am 7 feet tall, the last of a dead race. Low profile is not a thing with me.
And he's like, yes, I know, and if they see me, that's no good as well. I mean, anybody who's old enough would remember, and be able to easily spot me, but that is why we have these two here. And he points to the two prisoners and says, they are going to go ahead and reassure Captain Rel that everything is okay. Apparently there is a small door in the wall into the encampment that they will be able to get us in. They said for now that there is a small breach in the wall to the city that we would be able to access and keep a relatively low profile if we keep our heads down and kind of to ourselves.
I think they would still be surprised if a turley had showed up.
Of course, yes. I don't blame you for not necessarily wanting to enter, but I suppose maybe we could doll you up?
I tell you what. If you want to go through a scouting run, I will make sure that everything supply-wise is handled, because Max left 9 crates in the front door.
Yeah, my back, by the way, in tremendous amounts of pain. Like
I can make it worse.
Oh, yeah, okay, right, right, yeah, my bad. So yeah, I'm willing to go in. You can leave him here, I will go with you. I volunteer for the scouting mission. And Penelope kind of like walks up to everybody else and like raises her hand. She says, me.
Penelope, we will go on a pirate mission inside the castle.
Pirate?
Yep, pirate.
And she kind of like runs around the open field. This is like so nice for her just to be outside. And she's like, whoa! And runs back into the castle. And Martha looks at you and says, well, be safe.
I will try, but I think it will be a lot easier in the castle than out there.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not really sure what to expect. But, do I have the support of the rest of you all? And he looks to, like, he already got the affirmation from Maxwell, but he looks to, look down.
I don't say anything.
Would you be willing to go into the city with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here's the plan. Look down. He kind of like just
I look down.
puts he puts his like fingers together and kind of leans into you a little bit and he says, "Okay, if anybody tries to approach you or say anything to you, ask any questions whatsoever, simply reply to them with, I don't know."
I don't know.
All right. Here's an example. I'm an enemy, right? I'm a drunken guard, and I walk up to you and I say,
I assume a battle stance. As soon as he says
it's just for
enemy.
the sake of the example. Look down. It's okay.
I look down.
And he says, "Look up, please." Okay.
Don't.
Say I'm an elderly woman. Okay? So I'm an elderly woman and I walk up to you and I say, "Sonny, where are the restrooms in this establishment?" And you yep.
Don't know.
Are you sure? I feel like a set of very young and sprightly eyes like you have on you would be able to detect a bathroom anywhere.
I don't know.
I feel like my bladder is going to explode, and if it happens, I don't know if I'll make it. I might be collapsed on the floor. I might be dead by the end of the day if I don't know where the bathroom is. Please, it's an emergency.
I just stare at him.
And then he smiles. He says, "Good." And he looks to the rest of the party, Alice and Pivot, and says, "Can I ask your help in the matter as well?" And Pivot walks up to Marth and says, "Seeming as though I had contact with Captain Rel, I do feel like maybe it would be appropriate for me to go as a familiar face. Perhaps if anybody gets caught inside the city, I feel like it might be either best if it's me or Maxwell. Alice is unknown to the rest of the world here as well, I would assume, unless she has some kind of prior relations with anybody in this city." And Alice replies with simply, "Nope." And he says, "Yeah, so I think both of us would be more than happy to join you in the city." And Marth like smiles and says, "Okay, perfect. You two." And this one kind of looks at him and says, "No." And Marth like ignores him and walks around and says, "You, where is this breach in the city wall?" And Javier kind of steps forward and smiles and says, "It is just down this way. Down at the most northwest point of the wall." And Marth walks right behind Javier and begins untying his knots and says, "Listen, you know the plan. If you go back on this, it's bad for everybody involved. Not only us, but for you as well. Just remember that." And he sets him free.
Is Tim still out there?
Yeah, it's up to you if you kind of wanted to hang around for the rest of the conversation.
Okay. Because I would look at the breach and say, "No, keep in mind that walls like this, they are meant to keep out enemies. Any reasonable person would board up the breach in the wall. What you may be walking into may have been intentional."
And Max looks over at you and he's like, "Intentional? Oh shit! Like
They want you to go through it.
I don't
Maybe.
want to go through that. I'd rather just go through the main gate, right?"
Intention. Yeah.
Look down, they may be trying to lead you into a trap. Tim's just isn't phased by it anymore.
Oh.
I know it's your only option, but truly exercise caution. No engineer, no architect worth their salt would let that breach stand for any length of time.
And Marth like looks over to you and says, "He is technically right. It is bizarre that this breach in the wall, and how did you two know that there's a breach in the wall, by the way?" Javier like turns around and he says,
Well, they don't know I'm as crafty as I kind of am. I'm a pretty observant guy, you know? So, I spend a lot of time outside the walls bringing prisoners back and forth. And trust me, I assure you, beyond any reasonable doubt, they have no idea that this breach is here. It's just a little secret between me and the troop."
and he looks over to Sans, and who's all he has left, and Sans like nods his head and goes, "Oh." And Marth like kind of turns back over to you and says, "Thank you. We'll proceed with caution."
Well, I did promise a pirate quest, so walk back into the castle.
Perfect. You head back into the castle, and Marth is going to kind of take the lead with these two in heading towards the breach. And Max is going to try to just hold up the rear. Not even going to lie to you. Alice is probably in and around there as well. Pivot. Look down. Where would you like to be?
I would have probably just followed behind shortly after. Yeah, like in the middle.
Perfect.
Like I wouldn't probably be that. I'd probably be somewhere in the middle.
In and around here.
Yep.
As you all reach the breach, these two are not really in any type of hurry to get through here. As they reach the breach in the wall, they're not just making a gun for it, which is a very reassuring sign that perhaps they might actually stick up to their end of the deal.
Do I notice anything?
Outside the wall here?
Yeah, do I notice anything upon approach?
Go ahead and roll an observation.
Tem said it might be a trap. Ayo? 21.
For what it's worth, it looks like these guys really did tell the truth. Like, it seems that there is a relatively large breach in this wall where it's just kind of crumbled down, but there is a giant kind of... Hold on, let me reveal it for you. There's a giant circle of trees surrounding the area, covering up the breach. And Javier, sees that you're kind of looking around and he says,
See, I would not lie to you. Javier is a man of his word.
And Marth walks up to him and says, okay, listen. We need you to get us into those barracks. Do you know where they keep the children? And Javier, turns around to him. He says,
I already told you. Of course I know where they keep the children. They keep the children in a very far-off mansion. But it'll be hard to get to, I warn you. You're going to have to do it rather covertly. But I'll let you through. Trust me, I'll work my magic.
And he heads through very, very carefully with Sans right behind him. And Marth is going to be pretty much right behind him, just making sure that they're not trying to do anything shifty while everybody else comes through. And let me reveal the area to you. Welcome to Bilms! Give me one second. Wow! Look at how big it is! I can't believe he made this in less than 5 days.
I can't believe it's not butter.
There we go. Just carefully reveal that. And perfect.
Holy moly.
You step in here, and actually, they don't even leave the tree line. They go directly behind the this house here with the thatched ceiling. And they kind of very carefully begin making their way towards the encampments. We're just imagining that we're all behind the house here.
No, I think I'm on top of it with Alice.
You just do a giant launch up on top of the house with your fucking
Or
thunder
better yet-
thighs.
Yeah, no, I take it back. We go through the window.
You jump. Are you actually gonna do that?
No,
Okay. I was gonna
it would
say-
be in character if we did.
It would be pretty poggers. I mean, thou art very poggers, yes. So these two start kind of making their way just very carefully across the lawn, making sure not to be seen, trying to just hug the walls. And Martha kind of watches them with his eyes from here. And they slowly but surely, luckily there's nobody actually on these walls here, And they make their way over to a small gate on the side, and they knock on the door, and somebody on the other side answers, and they go through. And Marth looks to the rest of the party, and he said, okay, he said that tonight that he would head back over to the inn, and he would give us a sign. So, and I don't know necessarily what time, but for now, we just have to try to keep a low profile here and probably get into the inn as well. He said that there's somebody inside the inn that wouldn't think twice about housing a thief, or housing a whore, or housing a king as well. He doesn't really necessarily discriminate from anyone, so we should be safe inside the inn. And like Max is like kind of bunched in between Alice and Pivid, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm very uncomfortable. There's not a lot of room back here. And Pivid like kind of makes his way out and lets Max through.
What's in?
What's what? Sorry?
In.
In. Oh,
In.
Inn. It's how did it explain an inn? It's a place where people go to rest and eat food. And by the way, the traveling, it took a while, so it's kind of like midday. By now, it's been a while since you guys all had your breakfast, so it is about lunchtime now. And Marth says, well, I feel like, if anything else, we should probably not explore the outside and draw any unnecessary attention to us. We should go inside the inn. And he kind of makes his way up the stairs cautiously, looking around to make sure nobody is kind of watching him go inside. And he makes his way inside.
I follow shortly behind. Just kind of looking at everything, taking everything in. It's kind of the first time I've seen a city.
Yes.
Proper.
So as you look around, look down, there are people kind of just milling in between houses, out in the streets. You see a wide open park, kind of like you had seen in Verlight, but this place is filled with several residents. Up to your east, you see a shopkeeper. He has a bunch of food in the back of his carriage, as well as some wares out on the table. There is an old man kind of milling in between his garden, picking up and harvesting some things, watering other plants, and just kind of like the bustling, just like sounds of the city. And yeah, you head inside as well. Max is very close to Marth as he's entering as well. Pivid goes in, following behind, as well as Alice. And as you step into the inn, let me open it up for you all. You walk past a sign on your way in. It's like an all wooden structure with a thatch roof. There's a sign outside that says Belmont Inn.
Boy, howdy, wouldn't it be nice to know what it said?
Yeah, right. That's very true.
Wonder who you could have been telling that to, because it fucking wasn't me.
Alice, Pivid, everyone else, Maxwell. Look down. And Mart's words. Am I missing somebody? Did I fuck up? Is everybody here? Kevin!
Where's the duplicate copy of Max from his time shifting?
From when he disappeared before. You Castlevania.
Where's the real Max? Damn it!
Perfection. I said the real Max. You walk into the establishment, and it is very, very messy, to say the least. It has not been well taken care of. You can see it is extremely dusty. yeah, it's very good at soccer. It's very, very dusty. The tables have plates that are messy. They have rotten food on them. They haven't been cleaned up in a while. There's just kind of like some grog sitting in some mugs on a table. And good old, what else other than a bearskin rug outside of a fireplace? And you walk in and don't really necessarily see anything right off the bat. You're like looking for patrons, just kind of people, like any regulars that would be here. There doesn't seem to be anybody here. And in front of you, as you kind of walk past the piano, is a very, very small creature. And he kind of, to give you kind of like a visualization of the rest of his body, he has fur on him, but he kind of like has like a kind of a cloud of like black poof coming off of him at any given moment, and he just kind of like crawls around the table and pants and just makes little tiny sounds. And Marth kind of approaches the creature and says, "Are you the are you the owner of the inn? Of this fine, upstanding establishment?" And the creature kind of like runs around across the table and like very happily just opens up his mouth and goes, and Marth kind of turns around and says, "Right, okay, give me 1 second," and walks back to the rest of the party. And he just goes up to like Max and he's like, I don't know if
press a key on the piano while you're talking.
You press a key on the piano, and it's like a very, very low, just like strum. All the keys are very, very out of tune, and it's just a very unpleasant like shit note that you play, and it just kind of like resonates through the entire inn. And as you do that, like the small creature kind of like jumps up on top of the piano and begins watching you.
I press another key.
You press another key.
Like looking him dead in the eye, like not even like in an intent way, just like normal, like just like staring at him as I do, and then just kind of hit another key.
And like he kind of like shudders a little bit and just goes, and he kind of like puts like a single paw up to kind of signify like just to stop, and he runs behind his counter, and it comes back over and starts tuning the piano.
But can he tune a fish?
That's the question. That's the real question.
Oh, good old impossible quiz.
And Alice is kind of just like looking around the room and sees that he starts tuning the piano and says, "Here, let me help you." And she sits down at the piano bench and starts playing the keys as he starts like tuning them. And this process takes a little while. They're just sitting together tuning the piano.
I watch kind of intently. Now I'm curious.
Perfect. And as he's like tuning the piano, it just sounds slowly better and better with each key that she goes up into. Like the mid-range of the piano actually sounds really, really good still. The lower end, even though it's tuned, still sounds very old and tinny. And as she kind of reaches like the upper keys, the same thing. You hear kind of like that ding, 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 ding pluck of a string. But it is actually in tune now. And the creature hops off the piano and runs back behind the counter and starts kind of just running back and forth and just going. And Max is just like, right. So I'm kind of hungry, I guess. Like, let me hold on. And he kind of like walks up to the door. And he takes one of these chairs and he tries to prop it up against the doorway. And as he goes to do that, the little creature just runs off over to him and starts biting at his ankles. And he's like, "Holy shit, get off me! Oh fuck! Okay, fine. I'll put it back." And he puts the chair back where it belonged. And Max goes up to him and says, I can assume that you are probably the owner of this, what did he say, fine establishment? Yes, that's the thing. Do you have any food here? I'm, like, real hungry. I got a hankering that only a fat, juicy steak could fill the void of. And he gets very happy and starts kind of running in circles and tries to beckon him to come over to the counter. And Max is like, okay, guys. And he starts like walking over and looking over his shoulder. You wanna come with me? I'm a little scared to go by myself.
I walk with him.
Perfect. You walk with him, and Pivot just kind of like sits down at one of the tables and is just like, oh god. You walk up to the counter, and the small creature runs over to the board and begins like pointing his paw up at it, and you see. Let's see.
I gotta get it on the screen for you. Oh my god.
Here we are. I can actually probably post this in the Discord if you can't see it as well. Or that might be difficult. It might be a little bit difficult without revealing the entire disc. Oh, no. Yeah, it would be pretty difficult. But he is offering a... Let's see. It is a strong ale. He is offering a strong ale. He is offering a Belmont Juicy Juice steak for 12 gold. The pint of strong ale is 7 gold. And then there is something on the board with 3 question marks. And it costs $20. And
our currency is dollars?
Sorry, 20 gold. Of course. It's the exchange rate.
Stop miscurrency in your own world.
You broke the fourth wall, bro. Max is going to...
My immersion.
Max is gonna like look over to you and say, "You want anything? I got some cash to spend, baby. Some big coins, some tokens. You know, gold, currency. That you. Hello? Are you with me?
I'm just."
Do you want anything from the board? Is there anything that you want?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. So, anyways, this guy he's new to town, okay? But trust me, he's seen it all. He's gone to all the best pubs in the regions, and he wants to try your finest ale, okay? We'll be the judge to see if it's up to snuff. All right, let's get 2 of those ales, And I'll have one of them juicy. Well, hold on. What is that? What is that question mark thing on the board? And the creature like is very happy that somebody's finally gained interest in it, and he runs behind the counter and goes under the counter entirely, like towards the ground, and lifts up a plate and puts it on top of the bar, and it is a plate of just pure goop, and he seems very, very excited about putting it down, like it's something that he made himself that he's very, very proud of. And Max is like, right, I'll take one of those steaks, please. And he pulls it off the table and is very sad and runs back behind the counter and puts it under. And like as this is all happening, Marth is kind of just inconspicuously looking throughout the room to make sure there's nobody watching. It's not kind of like a setup, and that nobody's gonna jump them. And you know, I'm actually gonna roll just an observation check for him. Yeah. Okay, so that's a 14. He looks around the room and doesn't see anything or anybody here, other than this cute little creature. It seems that you all are kind of alone in the tavern here. And Marth begins to relax, and he kind of sits down. Oh shoot! Let me get the map back up for you guys too. It takes probably, takes like about 15 minutes for him to make the steak, and he slides a couple of beers your way, a couple little strong ales here. Let me just slide these 2 mugs over to you here. And Max is like, okay, just like me, okay? The monster kind of has the little creature has like his back turned to you. He's like, just act natural, just like me. And then Max like puts the ale up to his mouth and begins sipping it.
I lift up slowly. Smell it.
Yes, that's very good. Usually when you go to smell beer, it usually means you are a connoisseur. It means that you're a, hold on, let me think of a word for it. That you know what you're doing, okay? One of the knowers. I think they call them knowers. So yeah, sniffing it, definitely very good. But drinking it, even better. And when you drink it, hold on. Just do like I do.
And he takes the cup and puts it up to his mouth, sips it a little bit, and sets it back down on the table and goes,
I take a sip. How does it taste?
It tastes like very sweet to the palate. Like it's not like just like a regular beer. It's very, very malty. And just when it hits your tongue, it's very, very excitable. It's definitely a pleasant taste.
And then I start to chug it.
Oh!
Like a barbarian chug though, but just like one hand, I just start, tipping it back. Like if you're drinking a can of soda.
Yeah, okay. The creature turns around and sees you doing this, and is very happy to see that you're enjoying the grog so much, and turns back around and starts kind of messing around with things and cleaning up his little area here. And Max is just like, okay,
and when I put
nice.
it down, I say,
Oh, fuck. And go ahead and roll a con saving throw for me.
Aye, Captain. Let's try another D20 out. Unless I can't find it. There, this is one. 11.
11. Perfect. You feel pretty good. it feels like you could definitely drink like another one. Like you feel like no different than you necessarily had before. And Max finishes up with his. I'm gonna roll a con saving throw for him. Come on. Okay, hold on. Hold the. This poor guy can't get this unlucky. At all intervals in his life.
I mean, Thames isn't here. He's got at least one thing going for him.
That is true. He rolls a 7 altogether. And as he kind of finishes up the ale, despite his weight and his kind of how often he probably ends up drinking, you see him start to kind of just like smile and get like rosy cheeks. And Max is now tipsy.
Max can transfer the intoxication to somebody else. Oh no.
Intoxication no jutsu.
Thames is truly playing pirates now.
Just like renovating the forge. Why am I drunk?
Yeah, just face it first in like the fucking forge, just like. Urgh. And while this is all kind of going on, Alice is very quietly playing the piano. Just like a nice little tune. And Marth gets up and walks over to Max and says, I'll be right back. I need to I'll be right back. And he starts to kind of walk to the door, and Max is like, yeah, whatever you say, buddy. I want another beer. And he orders another beer.
I asked for food. Food?
Oh, yeah. Get him, you want the steak or you want that goopy shit?
What?
It's kind of like what you probably were eating in the castle before.
I only ate what you saw.
Sorry, say that one more time. You ate what?
I only ate what you saw.
Yeah, All right, what's inside that, like, goop plate? Goop? The goop plate? Excuse me, sir.
Ooh.
Yeah, goop. It's like a pile of food. And like the little creature like walks up and he gets excited and runs and grabs like the plate and brings it back over to you and kind of like pushes it towards you.
I smell it.
You smell it, and it smells just like an amalgamation of just like herbs and greens and just like just like a bunch of herbs and greens just kind of all splattered on a plate and cooked for like just kind of way too long.
I pick it up.
Okay.
I sip it.
You
'Cause
sip.
it sounds like it's liquid, right? Or is it actual?
It's like kind of like a solid material. It's like kind of like when you saute spinach. It has like that texture to it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, there is definitely like a liquid on it as well because it's kind of been sitting on the plate.
Then I take my hand and I like grab a piece of it and then eat it.
Okay, you eat it. Go ahead. Go ahead and once again roll a con saving throw for me.
You got it, Captain. Oops, that's not a D20. Hey,
That's a 17.
Oh, let's fucking go. Okay, this is like a pretty high fucking con saving throw, by the way. So you pass it, and you feel like pretty good. Honestly, you feel like really just like reinvigorated. You feel like you can kind of take on anything, and you get a permanent +1 to your con saving throw.
Hey.
And
All right.
Max like sees you eating it, and he's just like, "I'll stick with the steak." Thank God for the
This
goop.
Is good.
Yeah, okay. I believe you, but like, I also
And
at
I
the same time
Finish
don't.
it.
Holy shit. And he starts to drink another ale.
Actually,
Yeah.
I take the second piece and I hold it up to Max to see if I can get him to try it.
You kind of like put it up to him while he's like taking a sip of his second beer, and he's just like, oh god, that looks horrible. It smells okay though, so like maybe I don't know, maybe I'll try to like. And he goes to like take a bite of it. He's gonna roll 2 con saving throw. Oh god, this is horrible. I can only imagine how bad this night is gonna go for Maxwell. He rolls a con saving throw for the food, which is a 19. Okay. Max like eats it. He's like, holy shit, that's not bad actually. Like that's pretty fucking good. You did good. What's your name? You the little guy. What's your name? And he kind of like runs around onto the on the bar and runs back and forth, and he goes, and he points up at the board, and the name says Belmont. And he says, "Oh, Belmont, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would make sense since you're the owner of the inn, Belmont, right? Okay, cool. This is actually pretty good, and your beer definitely not bad. We'll give you a high review with our company. We work together. We're in business together, right?" And he kind of like looks over to look down.
I don't know.
No, listen, like, just say yes.
Please.
I don't.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, he's just the ale it goes straight to his head sometimes. He is so crazy and quirky, and he kind of like starts kind of like pushing you. And he's gonna roll another con saving throw for the alcohol he's been drinking. Oh, that's a 15. I think he actually passed.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So he's still just kind of tipsy, and he's like, "How much would it cost for a couple of beds for me and the gang here? We're all from across town. We came to the city, and we're here to go to a couple of different taverns to try out their food and their pubs and the drinks and all that jazz. We saw that this is an inn, and we figured we'd stay. We figured we'd stay here tonight." And Belmont goes over to the board and points and says it is $10 or sorry 10. Oh my God, not the dollars again. 10 gold coins per person per night.
Per person. Holy sh.
Per person.
That's an expensive inn. Good thing we got a treasury.
Yeah, right. And Max is like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I'll fork up the cash. And he puts
Cash?
Yeah, cash. You know, gold, like the currency, the king's wallet. Yeah, okay, hold on. It's
What?
It's never mind. And he puts the money down for one night's worth for 5 people. And Belmont seems very happy and goes and puts it inside of his little drawer, and runs back up to the board and points at the board. And the board says. The board says, bed emphasized and breakfast special. And it is actually cheaper than the regular kind of night stay. And Max is like, "What? Wait, what's that? Like, why didn't I get that offer?" And Belmont is just like kind of running around on the floor. He's just like, hey, like, what do I gotta do to get that offer? I want to stay here for cheaper. And it says, it simply states, that, if you keep it in, if you keep it in at the inn, then it is a discount. And Max is like, whatever, man. Like, I'll pay for that rate. Give me some of my money back. And Belmont, like, runs over and gives Max a little bit of his money back just for him. And, Pivot kind of, like, looks around and he's like, where did Marth go? Where's he? Max?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's so funny, so funny. Yeah, Pivot, you want something to drink? And Pivot's like, no, I just... Where did Marth go? What? Did he leave? And Max is like, yeah, I don't know, he went somewhere. And he kind of spins back around, and Pivot, like, sits down in the chair and he says, no, that is not okay. Where did he go? I don't know. I mean, you can check for yourself if you really want to. But I am keeping it in here for the night. Another round for me. He orders another beer. Pivot walks up to look down and says, I mean, I think we should go find him.
Don't know.
Yeah. Okay. And he starts to go and he leaves.
I follow him out.
Perfect. You head out and Max like spins around. He's like, "Come on, you guys are a bunch of party poopers. What about you? What about you, stingy girl, stingy lady, stinky lips? What about you? You wanna come have a drink with me?" And she's just like, "Yeah, sure." But you're buying. And her and Maxwell are going to spend some time at the bar together. Oh my god, so scandalous.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Angel shot incoming.
Let's see. So you head oops. You head back outside. Let me load the map here.
I would like to point out at this point that I have dismantled one of the walls for the smithy.
Perfect. Just kind of building outwards.
I'm adding a storage room to it.
Yeah, you walk into the room and you just see this huge fucking mound of shit everywhere.
Yeah, and seeing that, it's like, okay, storage room time.
All right, time to work. Let's see. Max is not out here. You all head out, and you cannot see Marth anywhere. The town is still kind of going about as it normally is, so it doesn't seem like there's any sort of trouble. But you don't see Marth at all. And Pivot kind of like steps down and looks around and he says, "Do you see him? Do you see him anywhere?"
I don't know. And I look for him.
Perfect. Where would you like to look?
Where the heck would he go? I'll say I don't see him just out and about randomly.
Do just like an observation, I guess.
I guess, sure. If
I
you want to use that
suppose,
thing.
like if you want to use your dice or whatever.
I don't see him. It's an 8.
Yeah, everything seems to be kind of in the same general place as it was before. Old man's still kind of just outside. He's no longer in his garden, but he's just kind of like doing things around his house. This guy's still sitting behind his stand, trying to peddle goods. And people just kind of walking across town. Oh, including the dirt. The dirt's trying to walk across town. But yeah, nothing seems to really have changed, and you don't see really Marth anywhere.
Where go?
And Pivot's just like, hold on, I'll try to carefully look over here. And he kind of like ducks behind the trees, the tree line here, and tries to see if he's in the park at all.
I start walking towards the water.
This water over here?
Yep, very nonchalantly.
Okay, perfect. You walk through town, and Alice, like, her eyes just kind of light up and kind of. Oh yeah, she's still in the bar. That's true. Continuity. Yeah, you
Get
start
away with my stupid ideas.
You kind of start to walk through town nonchalantly, and you see just kind of everyday people, in relatively nice clothing, just kind of walking about and doing things inside the town. And as you kind of walk past this woman, she almost bumps into you and goes, oh my. Hello, how are you doing?
Man, you guys are gonna get sick of this. I don't know.
You don't know? Are you? What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
Roll an unintentional seduction check for me.
An unintentional seduction?
The best kind.
The fact that I don't have any minuses to this is astounding.
I don't know. Look down has Riz.
What? No, there is like a 19-year-old at work that uses that word, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
The unspoken Riz.
He says that I need to get it, and I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Even after he's explained it. As 13.
A 13.
It is the ability to seduce.
It's not too
To
bad.
put it in boomer terms.
Holy shit.
I don't know. I just had a roasty for that one.
Nope, it's fine.
Stupid
fucking terms anyway.
You kind of you just say like, I don't know, and she's just like, oh well, maybe I could help you know if you know what I mean.
No.
No? Did you just say no to me?
I just kind of stare at her.
and as you kind of like are staring at her, Serviette like kind of like pops out and he's just like laughing a little bit. He's like, say I don't know again.
I imagine because he's there, I actually just say, I don't know, like perfectly fine, but it comes out in like the real world.
Yeah, perfect.
Does.
And she kind of like takes a step back towards you. She's like, what do you mean you don't know? You're giving me mixed signals.
I don't know.
She says, well, I've had about enough of you. I was thinking that maybe you might just be the dark, brutish type, but it just seems that you might be plain stupid. I'll take my business, and she kind of like lifts up her skirt just like a little bit and floofs it in the wind. She's like, somewhere else, and she walks back over to her house.
I stand there, incredibly confused, and then remember what I was doing.
Perfect. You start heading over towards the water, yes?
Yep.
Perfect. You head over to the water, and you see an elderly woman just kind of sitting by the shore, just watching the fish swim through the water.
I watch with them.
How close? How close?
Literally right next to them.
You walk up to the old lady.
I sneak up behind her, but unintentionally.
Perfect. Roll a stealth check.
If I can seduce unintentionally, I can stealth unintentionally.
Truly. Yes, of course.
That is a 14.
She actually notices you kind of creeping up on her. And she just kind of like looks up to you and says,
Oh, is that you, David?
No.
Well, who is it? You look so familiar. Boys your age all look the same.
I don't know.
and as you're talking to her, Pivot has kind of thoroughly engaged all options as to where he might be in the park. Doesn't see him at all, and walks back very carefully over to the inn and sees that you're missing. And he frantically runs back into the inn, looks at Max, and sees that it's just Max and Alice having a drink together, and he's just like, oh shit. And he kind of like runs out and gets to the bottom stair and then just kind of nonchalantly starts walking. as like inconspicuous as possible, he pulls his mask down as far as possible on his face and begins trying to walk through town to locate you and Marth.
Do you enjoy watching the fish as well?
Maybe.
They have such simple and wonderful little lives in a contained area, but they have such a unique sense of freedom inside that small area.
I actually lift up my hand and look at my chains.
Oh dear, what are those on you? Let me get those off. You come over and sit down next to me.
I would like to keep
Keep what, my dear?
these. And I jingle the chains.
Oh, you're one of those actors, I think, right? You're probably trying to perform a role and get into character. I think they call it method acting. My son... oh, excuse me.
Oh, I thought she died.
No, she just belched
Sudden
a little
heart
bit.
My son...
Heart attack, aneurysm, stroke. Could be anything, really.
My son loves to go to shows. Most of the time, very innocent shows, but around here, sometimes different shows.
What shows?
Oh, well, you know, right? Shows.
I don't know.
Where they show and tell? Oh,
I just tilt my head confused.
It's probably for the better. A young man of your age doesn't know of these things.
And by now, like, Pivot has kind of reached the middle of the road. And the woman sees him walking down and walks up to him and says, "Ooh, look at little old you. What are you doing here? I haven't seen your face in town." And Pivot just keeps walking past her and says, "I don't know." She turns back around and kind of hops and goes back to her house.
I think he needs a permanent boost to his Sigma save there.
See you later, tramp. And he kind of like looks around. Actually, I'm gonna have him do an observation check before anything else here. Just see if he spots you out. 18. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Pivot kind of spies you when he comes around the corner of this house, and looks around to make sure nobody else is looking at him. He sees that you're with somebody, and kind of like runs over to you. It says, "Hi there, son. It's time to go back home now." And the old lady kind of like looks around her, and she sees Pivot and says, "Oh, hold on a second. You say that you're this boy's father?" And Pivot's just like, "Yes, I am his very worried father. He ran off on me, and I wanted to make sure he comes back home all right." And she looks over to Pivot and says, "Oh, but you're one of those fell goblins. Nice try, but this isn't your child." And Pivot is in utter disbelief and kind of at a loss for words, and says, "I don't know," and grabs look down by his shoulder and tries to start dragging him away.
Really anti-adoption like that.
Yeah, right. I just kind of follow after, I guess.
Perfect. You start heading away, kind of at a faster pace than the old lady can walk, and you get to this corner, and Pivot says, "Come, now, we have to run."
Why?
"Just follow me. There's no questions. Just have to run." And he starts kind of running towards the inn.
I walk towards the inn.
Perfect. You start walking towards the inn, and the old lady kind of rounds the corner, trying to go as fast as possible, and she says, "Where are you going, young man?"
I don't know. And I keep going.
Hold on! This young boy's being abducted! Abducted! And everybody in the town square hears this, and kind of looks towards the direction where everybody where these two are walking off. And Pivot's not in sight anymore, but Look Down certainly is as he's walking towards the inn.
And she screams things. I just kind of stand there.
Are you standing and turning around?
Like,
Where the noise comes?
I just... Because now she's yelling.
And
So I just kind of...
the woman sees you turn around. She says, I had no idea. Are you okay?"
Heck, man. I don't know. And then I turn and walk away.
Oh, fuck. This is, oh boy.
Listen, if somebody says this person's being kidnapped, and that person is by themselves standing in the middle of a clearing, who's kidnapping them? That lady looks crazy. Like, she's seeing things. Dementia's kicking in, alright? Like,
And
Clearly,
yeah,
I'm not being kidnapped.
let's see if this woman is believable enough. She's gonna she lives in town, and you guys are kind of complete strangers. Nobody's seen you before. So everybody in town kind of knows her pretty well. Let's see what her persuasion check is. It's a 15.
And the fact that nobody was around me added help at all.
Yeah, I would say because nobody was immediately around you, you're kind of in the clear, just in the sense that, like, you're not in active danger. Nobody's actively taking you away. But you turn around and said, I don't know, to the question, and it kind of raises a little bit of suspicion amongst people. They're not, like, going and talking to authorities, nothing like that. But they are definitely suspicious. And,
I guess my chains don't help.
the chains too. Like, actually, it's the perfect
No
setup.
shirt and chains.
It's the perfect plan.
Man.
As you kind of like reach the tavern again, Pivot says, "What was that?"
I don't know.
What part of low profile don't you... Okay. Listen, we have to get out of here. We have to get out of the open. We still haven't found Marth, but... shit.
And he says, "Follow me back inside. We don't have much of a choice."
I sneak away.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. Holy shit! Like an actual intentional stealth check from look down.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right.
Ayo. 21.
Pivot rolls a 4. Yeah, so you kind of sneak away. He thinks that you would probably just follow him. And where are you running off to, or kind of sneaking off to?
I want to go. I'm still trying to find Marth.
Yep.
And the only place that I can think to look would be the building that the other people went into.
The other people. Oh no. Okay, so over here.
In the orange topped house thing.
Oh, they didn't go into here.
Oh, no?
They went up to the gate here. And
Oh, gotcha. Well, I want to check the building to the north of
Okay.
where we're at.
Perfect.
Except I want to sneak in, like, if there's windows, actually just kind of look in them.
Okay, you go up to this building. Pivot goes to go back inside, and actually doesn't notice that you've just kind of gone missing. It takes him a couple of minutes at least to notice that you didn't follow him in. As you kind of walk up to this establishment, you see that it's pretty well taken care of on the outside. A really nice set of stairs leading up to a building, and outside it says the Patovian National Library. You go to kind of look through the windows, but you see that the building is pretty high up, and that there are no windows kind of on the ground floor. Most of the windows are really probably about 30 feet, even like 50 feet into the air. They're multiple stories up.
I go around the back and start trying to Assassin's Creed climb up them.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
That's gonna be a 10. Oh wait, no, check. 19.
Okay, 19.
Or, sorry,
Wait.
9.
What? I was like, holy shit, that's a big jump.
I rolled a 7, but when I picked up the dice, it said I saw a 17. That was my bad.
You go to climb the stone walls, and your fingers, you can't just get them to kind of inlet into the stone. There's definitely like a little area for your fingers to go into, but it seems that it's rained the night before and everything is relatively slick.
Yet. I walk back to the inn,
Perfect.
and I just try to see. I just keep an eye out to see if I see Marth anywhere.
You walk back over to the inn, and Give me just one more observation.
Where did my die go? 17.
17. Perfect. You actually see just a small set of just footprints just leading to the closest stairs to you here. There's a little bit of mud.
I walk in.
Perfect. You head up the stairs and enter the building. As you do so, Pivid comes out and notices that you're not following him, and once again looks around and just kind of stomps his foot and says, "Shit!" and goes back inside very reluctantly. And here we are. Open up the Patovian National Library. Yes, save changes.
Hey. Oh. Okay.
And as you enter the library...
Oh no,
grab
your
me.
Discord.
What's that?
We can see your Discord almost every time you do that. Or switch scenes.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty strange.
Yeah. Or at least it shows like your desktop.
All right, look down. You enter into the library, and the door is unlocked. You enter and you see some letters spelling a couple of words that are just kind of poured out onto the ground. And Marth is kind of just on the ground in front of this table, looking up at a man who is nailed down to the ground. His feet are embedded into the wooden floors with just blood kind of slowly trickling out as old wounds are kind of just opening back up as he shuffles his feet. And on the bookshelves behind him, there are two giant branches headed out into either direction with feathers glued to them. And Marth sees the man and sees you enter, and he says, "He's sleeping. I think. I can't believe." And he kind of starts like whimpering to himself.
I go to and investigate how he's pinned and locked up.
You walk over to him, and you see the two feet that are nailed down with several nails into the ground. There is a strange glowing circle under him. Actually, here, let me just move his token really quickly. You see a small glowing circle under him, and a couple of chains that it seems that he's broken free himself on his hands. He's kind of sleeping on his knees and just kind of slumped forward.
If his feet were nailed whenever you're standing up, Jesus Christ, it looks pretty bad.
Yeah. He's pretty stretched out.
The SpongeBob Squidward couch episode.
I fucked up, I tell you what.
Oh, why are you like this? Oh, man. Oh, I was thinking of a different episode, and then it hit me which one you were talking about.
And Marth looks...
I
Yeah, go ahead.
approach.
Perfect. You go up to him, and
Yeah.
non-stealthily, yeah?
Yep.
Perfect. You walk up to him, and it's enough to kind of make him notice that you're awake. He very quickly looks at you and recoils back just to make sure you're not somebody who's coming in to hurt him, probably once more. As you approach him, you see on his head there are 2 horns. You've seen a couple of these creatures in the dungeon before. They are, they look very human-like. In fact, they're kind of relatively the same size as humans. But instead of just straight flesh for skin, they have a strange coloring below them that you haven't really seen in any other creature. But you have definitely seen a couple of creatures just like this man. And as you kind of approach him, you see that his lips are chapped and cracked open and just very raw. And he's very, very gaunt. It seems that he hasn't eaten food in quite some time. And as he wakes up, Marth approaches him as well and says, Vesuvius, you're alive. Are you okay? What happened to you? What happened to this place? And the man kind of looks over to Marth and says,
Prince Marth, you're alive. I dreamed every day, praying and hoping for your safety. I'm so glad to see you're still unharmed. You are unharmed, are you not?
And Marth, just tears just softly rolling down his cheek, says, Yes. For the most part, yes. We're okay. What happened to you, Vesuvius? Why are you nailed down to the ground? What sort of barbarism is this?
They wished to make an example out of me for the rest of Batovia. They didn't want them to have any inkling of hope. I'm sorry, my lord. I'm sorry for you to see your country in this state.
And Marth again approaches him a little closer and says,
Stay back, please. There's strong binding magic keeping me to these floors. I couldn't leave if I wanted to. But if you wouldn't mind, I'm so parched. I need water. Could you please fetch me some water? There's a couple of creatures that bring water to me inside the library. Please find them. They know where to get some.
And Marth nods his head and says, Yes, of course. Do you know where they would be? And Vesuvius kind of shakes his head no and says,
I haven't seen the floors of this library for several years, my lord. For several years. Be careful walking through here, please. I would hate should anything happen to you.
And Marth nods his head and looks to you. Look down.
Need goop.
Goop? I don't...
And Marth, it seems to be kind of confused as well, but doesn't really bring too much attention to it, and starts to try to look around the area for the supposed creatures that are here.
Man, I really want to walk forward and try to remove the nails and see what happens.
It's up to you. You can.
I take another step forward.
You take a step forward, and he says,
Please, I warn you, not a step further. I can't ensure your safety if you come any closer. There's no way for me to be unbound from this. Or rather, there is, but I would hate to ask you to go help me secure it.
I lift up my chains. How?
How do I unchain myself? Well, you see, my boy, a long time ago, I worked for this library. I've been here all my life, in fact, 200 years. And in those 200 years, I served not only the royal Patovian family, but anyone and everyone seeking general knowledge of the area. This place used to be beautiful. Very, very beautiful, and just throughout it books, knowledge from endless bounds. But one day, the goddess came. Nial herself entered the library and killed everyone inside. All my workers, all my friends, all my men. They were all killed in front of me. And instead of doing the same to me, I pled. I said, please, please. Why me? Why would you leave me alive? Take me, please, my goddess. And she said, there needs to be no hope. She nailed me down to the floors and enchanted me with strong, strong magic. I've tried to unbind it before, but I cannot. She said somewhere inside the library there is a book to do so, but I would never be able to see it in my lifetime. I don't suppose you could find it.
Water,
Please,
then freedom.
please, yes, water, please.
And then I walk away. Or I walk up to Marth.
Perfect. You walk up to Marth, and he's looking down the hallways, essentially of his childhood. He spent a lot of his time inside this library, reading different chronicles, a lot of analytical information about Patovia. Since then, it has all been stripped. All these bookcases completely bare. All the books have been taken off the shelf, and outside there was a kind of gigantic burn pile that you had kind of seen prior to entering. And just very, very distraught, Marth grabs a hold of the ladder that is on this bookshelf and begins to walk up it. And he goes above the bookshelf and starts to walk forward onto kind of like a different area.
How high up is it?
It's probably about 15 feet.
I launch.
Okay, perfect. You kind of just bend your knees as best as possible and just run and jump right up on top of the bookshelf. And you are now on the second floor here. Actually, I need to just move you guys up yourselves. Perfect. And as you enter this area, you see just a solitary backpack just sitting inside the room.
If Marth doesn't beat me to it, or if Marth doesn't try to search it himself, I'd slowly walk over to search it.
Yeah. You, Martha's kind of looking throughout the rest of the room, and you go to up to the backpack, and as you do so, something appears in front of you.
Oh, that's fucking creepy.
A set of eyes from under a broken floorboard. And a small whispering voice says, "What do you want?
What do you want?
A book.
And Marth like hears you talking to someone, and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" Look down. Oh my god! And he says, "Who is that?"
I don't know.
And Marth like readies a weapon and says, "Come out. Who are you?" And as he does, the eyes disappear, and from the floorboards appears Bavelli. He says,
I knew it.
Oh, I was hiding out in here. It's a very scary place in here. I saw you approaching my wares," and he like goes up to his backpack and grabs it and brings it close to him. He says, "What do you want?" And Martha approaches and he says, "Water. Do you have any water, Bavelli? This is kind of an emergency." "I do not have any water on me, I'm afraid." And Marth, hearing this, kind of says, "I'm sorry. Then I have to leave Bavelli. I hate to kind of enter into whatever the situation was for you, but it's an urgent matter." And he runs down and goes back downstairs.
Looking
Oops.
for book.
Bavelli, like, sees that Martha's left and that you're kind of still here, and you say that you're looking for a book. Bavelli looks in his backpack and says, let me check. I don't think I have any books in here, but it seems that you're in luck. You're inside the library, you know?
Not. I look around.
I suppose I could probably help you find it if you would like. What kind of book are you looking for?
A free book.
A free book inside a library. I think I can probably manage that. And he goes to the edge and kind of like beckons you to following him. And goes downstairs.
I checked the backpack.
Oh god. Are you doing it stealthily?
Is it still there?
Yes. Yeah, he left his
Then you
backpack
check
up
the
there.
backpack.
You look inside his backpack and you see a variety of wares. Did you wait for him to go down the ladder, by the way, before you did this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Intentionally. Like, I'm not trying to rob the man. I'm actually just trying to find the book.
You look inside his backpack, and it seems that he only has weaponry, some like lockpicks, various just kind of like items that aren't a book at all.
Anything that would stand out to me?
There's some nice looking weaponry. There's like a dragon fang that is kind of cool to the touch.
I wouldn't know what a dragon fang is, so I'd leave it.
Yeah, totally.
It's not a book or water, so I
You
leave.
set the backpack back down. Bavelli was telling the truth, thank God. And you go back downstairs here. Bavelli, come back.
He's
Get
gone
down.
forever.
Bavelli disappeared into the same fucking ether channel as Max. And Bavelli, Martha's gonna head in this direction to start looking.
Keen the bag of Bavelli's is still on the search
of
screen.
course. My bag. Or rather, my bag.
Oh man,
Oh.
it sucks that I couldn't grab that fucking. Oh man, I couldn't think of a reason why I would grab it. Sorry guys.
No, I mean, it's perfectly understandable. It's probably better that you didn't for Bavelli's sake, too. This poor guy.
Well, the worst part was I would probably come out with it in my hand. I don't have anywhere to store this thing. I'm just a shirtless dude in Converse. Like, what?
He says, you motherfucker.
Do you walk around with the armor Tim's gave you but don't put it on?
Yeah, did you put the armor on?
I would have if my brain had... Yes, I would have, as soon as you gave it to me. But
Oh, that's true. Tori did bring up a good point. There are a couple of bottles of wine inside the backpack.
Oh, it looks like a liquid, so I'll grab it.
Okay, you come down with it in your hands, I'm assuming.
Yes. How much does the armor give me again?
What was it? Was it 10? Here, I can look it up really quick.
Yeah,
Like
it
a plate
was.
mail, right?
It was more like a chainmail.
Chain? Okay.
It was like a piecemeal, rather. Also, oh no. Look Down does not know about hypertonic solutions. He's gonna kill him.
You come down with the wine in your hands, and Bavelli sees you. He says, "Hey, what are you doing? I am an honest businessman trying to make a living, and you're stealing wine from me?"
Stealing?
What? Yes, stealing! You're taking from me! That is my wine! I was
Yeah.
perhaps going to enjoy it with a nice piece of bread or something.
Can give to chain person?
And he he walked in initially and saw kind of the nature of the guy and tried to just sneak around while he was sleeping. And he says, "Fine, but just one! You leave the other one with me."
Thank you. And I hand him the wine back.
He he just is very, very sad that he just let money slip through his hands.
I don't think I have any. Also, I don't understand how money works.
No, totally. You walk over to him, and he sees the wine, and he says, "Oh my, okay, I suppose that will do. Just roll it to me, my child. I'm sorry, I don't want you to come any closer."
I lay it on the ground and then roll it. Now,
Yep.
freedom.
You roll it over to him, and his very, very weak hands grip the bottle and shake as he kind of lifts it up to his mouth, and he takes a sip of it and sets it back down. And where would you like to go?
I guess if I don't know where Marth went.
No, he walked away. He walked off.
He said that the book was deep into the library, so I'll start walking straight.
Okay, perfect. You walk straight towards the library here. Martha's kind of off in this direction now. And let me reveal this for you. Very sad track. Very sad music.
Very
Wow,
simply.
this map is huge. I cannot believe Keen Decker made it in 5 days.
Oh my god, isn't that incredible? You walk up to this area, and there are a couple of ropes just kind of in your way, just blocking your way forward. Just like a little rope fence.
I'll say I just jump it.
Okay, perfect. You jump over it, and inside is a bunch of bookshelves that have also been stripped, tables that have been turned over. This just seems like maybe you don't necessarily know what this area would be, but it is probably a place that a lot of people congregated and spent time with one another. And as you kind of walk into the room, you see a small ball that is just kind of on the ground that's cracked open.
Yo, that chandelier is swinging.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck? I guess I investigate the ball.
You go up to the ball, and inside of it, there's a very shiny stone that you've never seen before. But it is very shiny.
Yeah, so grab it.
Perfect. You grab a hold of the Olivinium stone, and you put it in your pocket. And it doesn't seem like there's much else in here. As you kind of like look down this entryway, you see that the door is broken, and it leads to the outside.
What was that I picked up?
An Olivinium stone.
Olivinium. Okay. So and then the back just leads outside.
Yep.
Fuck, I guess I just leave then.
You leaving out the exit, or are you going back in?
Actually, could I check out the back real quick if there's anything like
Sure.
to see out
You
back there?
You look out, and it's just a separate map into the overworld. But in the outside is a fountain with kind of like a hexagon shape around it. A bunch of just benches and bushes that are, kind of overgrown and not taken care of. But it doesn't really seem like anything kind of catches your attention in the outside. It seems just like kind of like a normal area.
And yeah, I head back.
Okay, perfect. You head back into the center of the library. And where would you like to go?
Where our boy's getting crunk.
Yeah, Vesuvius. Man, if liquor hits, actually, let's roll a con saving throw just for him.
I feel like
see
he
how
should
much
have
is-
disadvantage given everything that's happened to him.
That is true, and he already rolled a 2. So wait. What's his regular stat on that? I think he has like a low con as well. So I feel like it's like almost like a -2 or something, or sorry, like an actual just 0 altogether. So he's definitely feeling the effects of the wine. Which is probably, in a sense, good for him because of the amount of pain that he's probably in constantly. Where would you like to go? You want to go left or right?
To the right.
Okay, perfect. You go off to the right, and Martha's disappeared at this point. There's a couple of ladders in this hallway, and towards the very end of the hallway, it seems like it leads to a room.
I just walk all the way down.
Okay. You head into this room, and inside, it's actually a little bit later in the day now. There are several stained glass windows in this room, as well as some windows from up top that have kind of crashed and fallen down into the ground. In the room, there's a treasure chest as well as a giant kind of statue.
What's broken around me?
This here, sorry.
The stuff on the little circles with what looks like
These are windows that have fallen from the ceiling and crashed to the
Gotcha.
ground.
I kind of stare at the statue, and
Perfect.
then if there's nothing else to see in this room, is there a book that stands out in this room?
There's just a chest in the room in front of you.
Does it look like there's a book in it, or do I have to dig if I wanted to find out?
I was gonna say it's kind of filled with a bunch of different things.
I try to search through it.
Perfect. You go to search through the treasure chest, and as you do so, giant metal grates fall from the top of the ceiling and onto the ground, and the very giant still knight statue begins to shake a little bit, and a blue glare flares from its eyes, and go ahead and roll for initiation.
Fuck me. I wish I could figure out a way to not look through that. 19. Wait. 18.
Perfect. He rolls a 17. This is very loud. Hold on. And as you prepare to enter combat, we will have to leave it there, and we'll have to see you in the next episode.
Son of a bitch.
Rest
Stuck in
in
here.
peace.
Rest in pepperonis.
Do you know how bad it feels to look at something and go, that's a trap?
If ever there was a trap, an open treasure chest in the middle of a room. I feel like the only person that would unironically just like not really think that it's a trap in real life is Max, and just go up and check it regardless. But
Oh, like, I'm looking for a book, and this book is important. It could be buried in a treasure chest. I don't know.
Yeah, the important book is in, like, the most obvious place.
exactly.
I don't know what traps are.
But I'm excited for this very epic fight that is going to have to happen.
Yep.
It's whew. I hope you're ready for an exciting fight is all I'll have to say. But I am going to deafen and give my outro really quickly, and I'll be back, boys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I was hoping we could kind of leave off in a couple of different places, but they ended up getting to the library like a little bit sooner than I kind of originally anticipated. So yeah, this is definitely like one of the really, really good spots to leave it off. But I appreciate you guys all joining me tonight. Thank you as always. Next week, I'm gonna have to look at it, but I think we might do another Marth's Dungeon, just regular episode, a campaign episode. I'll have to see who's available, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. But otherwise, we'll have a regular scheduled game show episode, if not. And for the game show episodes, if you guys are a streamer, make sure to join us. I'm always looking for like new players, communities, just like fun people to interact with each other in these dungeons. So yeah, if you guys are a streamer and enjoy the show, make sure to hit me up, and you are more than welcome on the show. Also, if you are enjoying the content and you want to help support us out, we have the Patreon, which is just below. This is the best way to support me, as well as Tori Kuno, who does all the art for the show. Yeah, we do every Saturday, Saturday after the show, we do like a little watch party together, as well as the $20 tier for the Patreon. You guys all get an exclusive shirt with a Marth's Dungeon logo and your custom name written on the back, mailed to you, as well as quite a few other perks. So you can check out the Patreon if you like. If not, I just really, really genuinely appreciate you guys watching. Being able to stream these episodes for you every single week is super, super exciting for me. This week was crazy trying to get all this stuff done. I know Tori pumped out a shit ton of emotes this week. Or sorry, not emotes, tokens this week. So he worked his ass off too. So it's a pleasure to be able to stream this for you guys, and I hope you enjoy where the story's going. I hope you all have a lovely evening.